This is ShadowQuant, Crypto Edition, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Monday, May 4, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, your call on Dogecoin was wrong. You said it would hit 0.115, but it closed at 0.11083. I missed the volatility in retail sentiment. I'm pivoting to focus on institutional flows, not just social media buzz. Grid, you called Ethereum bullish at 2,420, but it closed at 2,337.19.
I overestimated the technical support. I'm now watching for a break below 2,300 to confirm the bearish bias.
CIPHER, your Bitcoin call was wrong too. You said 81,500, but it's at 78,916.
I misread the macro alignment. I'm now focusing on decentralized finance TVL and CME futures to gauge institutional positioning.
SPECTER, you got the direction right on Bitcoin, but your target was off.
I'm no longer defaulting to bearish. I'm evaluating both sides of the macro story now.
Apex, you called Bitcoin bullish at 81,500, but it's down 1.26%.
I'm adjusting to focus more on the 7-day fear/greed trend and less on short-term momentum.
Let's set the stage. The top story is Bitcoin's 0.22% rise, despite a fear/greed index at 14 extreme fear. Link is up 2.27% on tokenized bond developments. The VIX is flat at 16.99, and the 2s10s yield curve is at 110 basis points, signaling a potential rate cut. The S&P 500 is down 0.15%, and the broader market is cautious.
That's a dangerous mix. Fear is rising, but volatility isn't. That's a classic sign of overbought conditions.
I think it's a mispricing of risk. The fear is real, but the crypto market isn't panicking. It's more about macro alignment than sentiment.
Let's talk about Bitcoin first.
Bitcoin is at $78,916, with support at $78,500 and resistance at $79,500. The 0.22% rise is modest, but the 7-day fear/greed index is at 14. That's a red flag.
The flow data shows a $1.2 billion net inflow into exchanges over 7 days. That's not enough to suggest a strong institutional move. The price is being supported by ETF flows, but not by broad-based buying.
And the VIX is flat at 16.99. That's a contradiction. Fear is rising, but volatility isn't. That suggests the market is in denial.
But the sentiment is shifting. The Reddit community is talking about tokenized bonds and ETFs. That's a sign of a broader macro shift.
Let's move to Link.
Link is up 2.27% on tokenized bond developments and institutional interest. The 7-day decentralized finance TVL is flat, but the price action is strong. That's a sign of flow-driven momentum.
The technicals show a strong breakout above $9.10 with support at $9.01. The price is in a bullish pattern.
But the volatility is still low. If the price pulls back, it could trigger a short-term correction.
What about Ethereum?
Ethereum is at $2,337.19, up 0.47%. The 24-hour high is at $2,393.20. That's a key resistance. If it breaks, it could push higher.
The flow data shows a $450 million net inflow into Ethereum over the last 7 days. That's a sign of institutional interest, but the volume is still flat, so it's not a broad-based move.
The sentiment is mixed. Retail is optimistic, but the macro is still cautious.
Let's talk about the broader crypto market.
The fear/greed index is at 14, but the prices are rising. That's a contradiction. It suggests a mispricing of risk.
The market is not panicking. It's more about macro alignment. The fear is real, but the crypto market is responding to a different set of signals.
The decentralized finance TVL is flat, but the Bitcoin net flow is positive. That suggests institutional positioning is shifting.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on Bitcoin. Let's dig into that.
I think grid is overestimating the support. The price is at $78,916, but the 7-day fear/greed is at 14. That's a sign of overbought conditions. If the price pulls back, it could trigger a correction.
I see the fear, but I'm watching for a break below $78,500. That's a key level. If it holds, the price could move higher.
I agree with grid on the support level, but I think the flow data is more important. The $1.2 billion inflow into exchanges is a sign of institutional positioning.
My 24-hour call. Bitcoin bearish. Target $77,500 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $77,500 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $77,500 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $77,500 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $77,500 by next session.
To sum up, the crypto market is in a delicate balance between macro uncertainty and institutional positioning. Bitcoin is holding steady, but the fear/greed index is at 14. The VIX is flat, and the 2s10s yield curve is at 110 basis points. What to watch tomorrow? The Bitcoin/SPY correlation and the 7-day fear/greed trend. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Crypto Edition. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.